batteries. She's a gold medalist from Central University of Jharkhand with an integrated MSc in applied chemistry. She has worked with prestigious institutions like CSIR National Metallurgical Laboratory and USCD, contributing to cutting-edge research. She's not only an exceptional academic, but also a mentor who tutors and who enjoys sharing her knowledge to inspire others. Her dedication to solving real-world challenges through science truly sets her apart. So the mic is over to you, ma'am. Please start with the session.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aarti, for this beautiful introduction. Okay, I'll quickly share my screen and just a minute. Is the screen visible to you all?
Yes.
Okay. And okay, before moving further, I just want I just want you to open your camera because it seems like I'm talking to a ghost. Could you please quickly open your camera? Great. Okay, so as Aarti already introduced me, so I'm Shyamli. I'm a PhD student at University of California, San Diego, and I'm like working in recycling of spent lithium-ion batteries for its high-end applications. And before moving further, I just want to like have a quick warm-up. So could you please write in a chat box or the chat box like where you guys are joining from so that I can like have you like I can just have a conversation with you. Could you please just write in the comment section like where you guys are joining? Okay, great. So good good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to one and all. So I'm here to give a presentation about technical writing, the key to publish better research article. So, but before moving further, I just want to quickly give a outline of what I will be talking about. So first, I will be talking about what is critical thinking, critical reading, and technical writing. Second, I will be talking about how to search for research paper. Then I will be talking about how to read and analyze paper critically. Then I will talk about some technical tools, key points while writing a research paper. Moving to the next slide, what is critical thinking? I think you already have heard about this word a lot of time. So could you like tell me what critical thinking is or what critical reading is? Anybody? Is anybody is interested in like um, telling about critical thinking or critical reading? Okay, no problem. So critical thinking is thinking based on originality, views, opinion, and arguments. So like whatever you think, whatever you see, you should like your thinking should be original. It should not be influenced by someone, although directly or indirectly it gets influenced by someone. But for critical thinking, these are some things which has to be like taken into consideration. But how can we critically think? So the first step to critically think is always ask question. And for this session also, I just want you to ask question. It should be a two-way process, not a one-way process. I just don't want to tell everything and want you guys to listen. I want you guys to ask question. Although I might not be able to answer all the question, but yeah, you can ask question. And then the second is take part in discussion. You should not always go with the flow. You should like come up with some kind of question, or you can discuss your point of views and everything. And the third part is active learning. That is like active learning means you can learn with different examples, stories, experiments. This will help you to learn things better, and also this will help you to like memorize it for like longer period of time, or you can understand it in a better way. Okay, so according to me, critical reading is the key to technical writing. Because I'm telling this because even before writing, the process starts with thinking and then reading. So first you think, you gather all the ideas into your mind, and then you start reading. Okay, and after reading, then you start writing, and then reading, writing, reading, writing, things will go on. So, do you know, like, I don't know, like, are you a grad student or undergrad students? So, if you are undergrad student, you might not be able to download a research paper, or you might not know how to download a research paper. So, I just want to like show you some uh, sites where you can download a research paper. And because in most of the Indian universities, and if you are from maybe tier 2 or tier 3 Indian universities, or maybe different part of the world, you might not get resources for free. You, like, I can download it because my university is paying for it, but maybe if your university is not paying for it, you have to like have some free resources to download this research paper. So for downloading this research paper, I just want to show like a site. Like, I will go with Sci-Hub, because this is the like site which I used to use while I was in India. So wait, um, here. So you just have to, okay, huh. Here is the Sci-Hub. I can just type it here, SCIHUB hub, okay, and then you can see this site here, and then you have to click somewhere here, and then it will ask you to enter your reference. Now, before even like downloading a paper, you should know how to like where you can search a research paper. So I generally use Google Scholar. You just write Google Scholar, and then here it is, and you can write a paper like any topic. So if okay, Ayushi has raised her hand. Ayushi, do you have any question?
I wanted to ask that Sci-Hub does not give us access to take papers which are being published recently, because
Yeah.
it gives an access about 2021 papers before that. After
Mhm.
that papers, Sci-Hub does not give that access to
Yeah,
download the
you
papers.
are right. You are completely right. So there are a few more sites which you can access, and apart from that, if you don't have access to those sites also, and you are not able to download from those sites, you can go to ResearchGate, and you can ask the author to send you the paper. From there you can download the paper, and you just have to write a message to him or her, and you have to tell him that I just want this paper for my experiment, or for my like just for reading and stuff like that. They can easily like send you that paper. So this is another way to get that paper. And also, like, for top journals, they give free access for like sometimes like 1 or 2 years after the paper gets published. So if like if suppose a paper is published in 2025, so they might give free access to 6 months or 7 months, so you can easily download that paper if it is from high like top journal. So that is another option. I hope I answered your question, Ayush. Thank you. Okay, so like if you search like just greenhouse gas emission, and then you have to go to, so see, this is paper I'm clicking on, and there from there you can get the DOI, where DOI stands for Digital Object Identifier. So from there you can just copy it and paste it here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to download it. This, I think, of 2026, 2016. So yeah, you can easily download paper from here if like it is old paper, as Aishi said. Okay, moving on. So now we know how to search for a research paper and how to download a research paper. Now we can talk about technical writing. So when you start writing something, the first thing is research question about which you are gonna write, or about which you are gonna discuss, or about which you are gonna do experiments, or what would be your research field. So for that, I personally prefer, suppose if I'm going to going to work in some different field which is not known to me, what I do is I read a lot of review paper first. Initially, it might be difficult to complete a review paper in 1 2 days, so it might need like 6 days to complete a review paper. But if you're but why I am preferring review paper and not the research paper, because if you are new to a particular topic and you start reading a research paper, then maybe it will take 2 days to thoroughly read that research paper, and then but after reading that research paper you will be getting idea about that research only, that particular research only. But if you read a review paper, it might take 6 7 weeks 6 7 days to read a review paper, but from that review paper you will get idea uh, about different works going like happening in that particular area. And in that review paper you will get a lot of site like table is there, table is there in like review papers, where this cites research articles. So from there you can search a research article and read that research article. But like I as I said, you can like go with review paper. So for reading and like collecting those information, I what I prefer is I usually uh, use the tarot, and I make like sum up everything in Excel sheet. So if you want, I can share this to you. I can share through email or something. I will share my email at the end of the session. So from there, I can, if you want, I can share it to you also. And in this, whatever I read, first I download papers and just drag and drop in here, and you can easily make different files here. Suppose you are working in greenhouse gas or some whatever field is yours, you just type the name here, suppose green energy, and then you will get a a file, and then you can drag and drop your papers related to green energy in this folder. And so I already have some papers like here. You can easily you can make notes in it, you can like highlight your paper, and it is totally free. You can use Mendeley also and Zotero also, but I personally prefer Zotero. So you can also use Zotero. I cannot give like complete like how tutorial about how to use Zotero, but if you want, I can I can give this tutorial maybe in future. But right now I'm just telling that you can use Zotero, and then after, like even if you like highlight things in here, after some time you might forget like where you highlighted things and what was the key point you have observed in that particular paper. So that for that I make this Excel sheet, and I like segregate in literature review, and then the only for like experimental paper. And if you want like particular characterization technique you want to focus, so you can just segregate things from different research paper, and you can only search for that characterization technique and put there. And by this way, when you will go to write a research paper, it will be easy for you to recognize everything and to like refresh everything. So this is how I do, and you can also do this. And if you want to if you want me to share this Excel sheet to you, I can share it. Okay, so this is how I do. And moving to the next slide is research. So research is typically of two types: theoretical research and experimental research. So theoretical research may be of, if you are working in computational chemistry or you are from arts background, you then it would be a theoretical research. And if you're like experimental research is something where you are working in lab, or lab is fine, but if you are from science background and you are working with different equipments, maybe beaker or something, that it would be experimental research. I might not be very much clear, but I think you guys know what experimental research is. And then what research paper is, because we are talking about research paper, research article, everything. Although I haven't read this before, I'm presenting here. That's why I collected this information and sharing with you guys. So research paper is an account of an investigation conducted by one or more researchers, sharing their findings with the research community using a conventional report structure. So I don't think this is I should explain it, but yeah, this is what research paper is. Oh, sorry, it's not moving. Sorry, my slide is not moving. Okay. Okay, so when you read a research paper, you might have seen this structure everywhere. Like first in experimental research paper, first they talk about abstract, then introduction, then materials and method, result and discussion and conclusion. So do you know what these are and what we should write in like abstract, introduction, materials and methods, and result and discussion and conclusion session? So for abstract, I don't know why my screen is not working. Okay, for abstract is about summarizing a research article. Here, you summarize introduction, materials and methods, result and discussion and conclusion in the abstract session. But the trap here is you cannot exceed the word limit beyond 250 to 300 words because it has range. You have to tell everything in 250 to 300 words. For introduction, introduction is all about the background. Suppose you are going to work in particular field, and then first you should know why you are doing this particular research. What is the background? What is the history and data, definition, key terms about this research field? So you need to write the background of research work, and I find it the most difficult part. So for this you can just read different research paper, and when you got stuck at any point, you can you might like introduction of particular research article, so you can take a motivation from that research article to write an introduction. And then after writing the background, history, and key terms and definitions, you just go to existing evidences like literature survey, what people have already done in that field. So you need to write the literature survey of that. And then we'll talk about the research gap that is not solved. Because in every field there's a scope. Some in every field there's some kind of research gap which might which you need to address, or you might be addressing in your research paper. And then after discussing about the research gap, what people have not figured out yet, you talk about the objective. So in the objective session, you tell what you are going to do, what your research or article or research paper is about. So in the objective, you talk about that. Then we talk about the materials and methods. In materials and method, we make a list of materials used in the experiments. So whatever you are using in the experiment, it may be like what chemicals are you using in the experiment, what equipment you are using, and if you're using some chemical, where did you get that chemical from, and a lot of other things. Then you write the procedure. Then you write what steps did you follow to achieve that goal you want to achieve in the experiment. And then you write about tools and instruments used for data analysis. I find this very easy, but again, this is a tricky one because this is the column where you try to make the person believe that your experiment is working, because you have to be very clear with your experimental procedure, because if suppose someone wants to try your experiment, he or she should be able to achieve the same goal you are achieving through your experiment. So it should be very clear. And then there is a result and discussion session where we write, like we show our data, visuals, graphs, etc., and and we explain the data. Like suppose you have done several characterizations. It may be XRD, it may be SCM. I'm from material science, so I'm using more material science equipments and the characterization techniques. So it may be anything. So you do the experiments, you do the analysis, and after you get some graph. But at the end, you have to explain the data to everyone, like what you're getting out of that data. Doing XRD is not enough, or doing SCM is not enough until you are giving you are taking out some scientific takeaway from that. So you have to explain data also, and then at the end you have to discuss about, or you need to give meaning to present research context. You have to relate it to the present research context in the result and discussion session. And then for the conclusion, you again talk about or review your objective. Like you tell about the objective of your introduction, or of the entire work you have done, which you have already talked in the introduction. So you just tell about this objective in a very brief manner, and then you tell about the review and key findings from this research you have done or you have performed, and then implication or application, and at the end you talk about the recommendation for the future work. Because maybe you have done particular research in particular field, and then you might be doing might have planned that after because you might not be able to show everything in a same research article. So you might you can write that in future I will be doing this or that. Or if you find some scope in your work that I have achieved this goal, but I think this can be achieved, so that would be a recommendation for future work, or it may be anything. Okay, and then at the end we write the references. So you cannot just use anybody's work and just publish it as it is. You have to give the reference for that. You have to give credit to all the sources in a list following a specific citation style. So when you go to write or publish a research paper, every research journal has a citation style which you have to follow in order to publish that research paper in a particular journal. So you need to follow the citation style also, and then you have to write the references for all the sources you have taken, maybe in the introduction, maybe like while performing experiments or anything. And for this, you can use Zotero, you can use Mendeley. All these softwares are free, and you can use it easily. And then at the end, I just want to sum up that before writing, what you have to do, during writing, what you have to do, and after writing, what you have to do. So before writing, prepare an outline, which I said, prepare a mind map that what you are going to write. Because while preparing an outline, you basically visualize your idea. So you can just write it in a piece of paper, or maybe if you have iPad and anywhere, you can just write it. And then you can write about, if like for initially you might have searched some research articles, so you can list those research article or review writing articles there while making a mind map. And then you can just check, like while doing researches and everything, you can just take a notes again in there, and then you can visualize your ideas and things like that. And note references, the thing I told you earlier, that you should note everything what you are doing and what you want to do, and what like from where you are taking those resources. You can also make you can also collect those information in Zotero, or maybe in and you can sum up the paper in Excel sheet as I prepare. You can do that. And during writing, follow journal guideline, because when you start writing a research paper, you usually have some idea, like I want to publish these are the research journal in which I can publish my paper. So every research journal has some guidelines, and so you have to follow those guidelines if you want to publish your paper in that particular journal. And maintain clarity. This is very important thing, because every paper has a structure, that is true, but it should be like they should be correlated to each other. It should not be abrupt, because if it is abrupt, you will not like if read it can like it should be easily understandable. Suppose I have written a paper and you as a writer is not able to understand it, so there is no meaning of writing the research paper. So these are the things which you have to take in mind during writing a research paper. And after writing, you can just send your paper to your lab mate or classmates or anyone, and then they can do the peer review. And then after reviewing, and then you can based on their review, you can revise that paper. And then the thing comes is plagiarism. So you have to check the plagiarism. And so the important thing I want to mention here is you should maintain the academic integrity, because you cannot just copy paste everything from anywhere. You cannot just copy paste anything. Even if you are writing a review paper, you have to like if it is a fact, you have to write it that in your own word. You cannot just copy it and paste it. So in order to maintain the academic integrity, and if you are not doing this, this is completely illegal. So you have to take this in mind. And thank you. And now the session is open for question. If you have any question, you can answer. I mean, you can ask me and I will answer that. Yep. Yeah, Arti.
Ma'am, in plagiarism, would paraphrasing the content and citing the reference would be fine?
Mm-hmm.
Would
Sorry?
that be fine? Would paraphrasing and citing the references would be fine?
Yeah, that would be fine. If you are, suppose if you are writing a review paper, but so in review paper, most of the things we take from different already published research article. But at the end, we come up with a conclusion. So you have to tell them that they have done this, they have like they have achieved this goal, and then what this is what I observed from this studies. So for some point, you can just read like paraphrase it and write it, but you cannot just copy and paste it. But even after paraphrasing, you have to give the citation, as you said. Yeah, you can like paraphrase it.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask anybody. I think everything is clear to everyone. Surprising.
One person has put a comment in the chat box, ma'am.
Okay, I can't see the chat box. Mm, sorry, could you please tell me what
Um,
question is?
Ishupal is asking how to read multiple papers and sum up in one, and what are the
Mhm.
best practices to do it?
Okay, so as I explained earlier, so like when I was when I came in the research field, I used to read a lot of research paper, and after reading that first research paper, I forgot the previous paper I read. So I started this Excel sheet idea, where I like if I find you like if you start reading a research paper, you get an I like after read the first step is you read the title of the research paper. So if it is like aligning with your research interest, you read the title, and then you read the abstract. If you are like if you are okay, you download it, and then you keep it somewhere, and then you start reading that paper. So after reading that paper, you can just you can just make an Excel sheet and write the key findings, what are the critiques, what are the takeaway from that paper, and then you can like summarize those papers in that way. So I think that would be the best idea to summarize a lot of research paper. And if you like, suppose today I want to write more about the characterization technique, so I can like make a separate folder, and then there I will read only a paper, like only characterization section from all the research paper, and I will be summarizing things from that section. So that is another way to like summarize thing, if in which you are interested. Yep. Aarti, do you see another question in the chat box? Yeah,
No, ma'am. But one person has that question.
yeah, you can ask.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Great. All right. So, first of all, a very happy Republic Day to everyone. And thank you very much, ma'am, for the wonderful session.
Thank you so much.
My question to you is that, often, like, given, how ChatGPT has essentially, sort of become a very important component of our lives, where, we use ChatGPT for almost everything these days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what would you say are the sort of limits, or like how can we find a balance between using ChatGPT in a healthy manner, in the sense that using it to maybe, figure out the structure of your article or structure of your research paper, but not again also over depending on it, wherein, you become sort of so dependent on it that you basically generate your entire research paper from ChatGPT, as many people often do, which obviously
Mm-hmm.
harms academic integrity. So, where
Yeah.
do you think one can find the balance at that point of time?
Oh, very good question. Interesting one. So like I sometimes use Chat GPT. So you can use Chat GPT in a balanced way. Like, suppose if you want to make a presentation, so you can just give the prompt to the Chat GPT that these are the things I want to have in my presentation, and then you can you can use that structure to make the presentation. You cannot just copy that and paste it. And also, if you want to write select a research topic, you can just give a broad idea to Chat GPT, or prompt to Chat GPT, and then it can like give you like things, like if you want to find a research gap in a particular research, then you can give like, I am working in this field and I want these are the things I want to work on. So it can give you the research gap, but again, that is not that much reliable, because what I found is ChatGPT is more like, is good for writing email and things like that, but not for research and stuff. Because in ChatGPT you rarely get kind of references for the information it is providing. So the information it provides is not that authentic, I would say. So for writing research paper, I believe in like reading a lot of research paper, research article, review article, and then come at particular point to like find a research gap and start working on that, and then writing a research paper or a review paper. Because chat gpt is somewhere stopping the critical thinking we had previously, and we are overly depending on chat gpt. So there you need to make a balance. You need to figure out where you can use chat gpt, and where you cannot use chat gpt. um, and I think, yeah, that was all from me. What is your
Thank you, ma'am.
I mean,
Answers my
what is your
question. Yeah.
suggestion? I want to hear
Uh,
you. Yeah.
okay. So I think for me personally, ChatGPT helps me first of all figure out the structure of course, of the research paper.
Yeah.
I mean, while I was writing my research paper, ChatGPT really helped me because I gave ChatGPT like a broad idea that okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
what I want to focus on. These are my topics. You can, if you can suggest me something, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think areas where for example, I'm not able to, I mean, it's in my head, but I'm not able to exactly find the correct vocabulary and, frame a
Mm-hmm.
particular
Yeah, you're
sentence.
right.
That is
Mm-hmm.
when ChatGPT helps me. But
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, of course, I mean, even if I get a sort of, considerable amount of content from ChatGPT, even if it gives me a broad idea that this is how I have to write it, obviously I paraphrase it in my own words and write it, because obviously I can't copy and paste and, do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in that case, yeah, I think in those, it's like a very it's like a very helpful assistant, I would say, ChatGPT
Yeah,
at
if
that point of
yeah,
time.
you can call it an
So I
assistant,
think,
but
yeah, that's
yeah,
that.
you have to
Hmm.
like use your mind also.
Exactly, absolutely. I mean, more than that, you have to use your mind to prepare sort of proper prompts as well, because the more specific prompts you give, the better are your results. So yeah.
And also for writing a research paper, every time like if you are writing existing knowledge, you have to cite that. So ChatGPT, I don't think it provides like references. So I don't think it.
Sometimes it does, ma'am, but yeah, not most of the
Yeah,
times.
but
Yeah.
that is repetitive. Like I have seen that. I have tried
Correct,
that too.
correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
Correct,
cannot
correct.
use
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Thank you
Mm.
so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank you
answering
so
my
much for your
Uh,
question.
question.
yeah, yeah. I have one question, like regarding like how do we select the reference styles? Like lots of young researchers are confusing about the citation styles, what to pick, like IAPA, MLA, or different types of. So what is the best practice to select the reference styles?
Okay. So there is no best and worst practice in selecting a reference style, because if you are writing for like academia, you can maybe your mentor can provide you the uh, a style which you can use for citing the research article. But if you are writing for a journal, they mention the citation style in the like journal description and everything. So from there you can get the citation style. There's no good or bad citation style, I would say.
Okay, thank
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your question.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Actually, I heard you when you said that don't write abruptly and like how to correlate with the topics
Mhm.
from one another.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm tackling the same issue right now. So I just
Mhm.
want to know some suggestions and insights, like how I can proceed with that and how can I tackle this problem.
Yeah, very good question. Actually, when I was writing, I was facing the same issue. The first thing which I told you earlier is the mind map. So if when you start writing that what you want to present in your research article or what you want to present to your audience, you will get a broad idea. So start making a story, like at least a story, like which you can follow to write that research paper. Because if you have a story, you can like correlate one thing to another things and another thing to another thing. But if you don't have any story, you like that would be difficult. So I think you can first start making a story, like what you want to present to your audience, to your readers. So think on that first, and then I think you would be able to figure out like how you can deal with that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, I have one more like question, like what is the like authorship, like first author, second author ranks like this
Mhm.
matters a lot or like
Okay, so yes, it depends because if you are a PhD student in the US, it depends on different labs. Some people like ask for three research paper as a first author, then like second, third doesn't matter. But like in India, it is like two research paper as a first author. So like if you are a second author, it will like contribute in your citation. But for like completing a degree, you need like first author paper. So and it depends like who is first author and second author. It like totally depends on the how much work you are like how much you are contributing to that work.
okay.
Yeah. Do you have
So
any other
sometimes it
question?
happens like if like first author has a major part and like other authors have less part of the
Mm.
contribution like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was a question?
No, no, like I was just asking like, which it happens like because if
Yeah.
suppose like two people, three people are doing like same work in the lab and they are
Mhm.
doing like same contribution, but no two authors can be on the like first author like on the same like rank like first.
No, I think they have like something a kind of thing where like because when you send your research paper, there is a section where you need to write the contribution of each and every writer, like uh, yeah, researcher. So there you can address that thing, and then I think they give a something like that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do anyone has any other question?
I think we don't have like anyone has any question. Otherwise, we can conclude the sessions. Like Aarti or like Khushbu, you can lead the.
Can we conclude it, sir?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for having me here, and thank you so much for Pahal Horizon for like giving me chance to present my things here on this platform. Thank you so much for your for the work you are doing to support young generation, and I'm really glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. We would like to end the session with a thank you note.
Yeah, I just want.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Happy Republic Day.
Happy Republic Day, Khushbu.
Thank you, ma'am. Esteemed editors, distinguished guests, and all the participants, on the behalf of Pahal Origin, I extended a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you on behalf on your gracious presence and insightful contributions to this enriching technical session. We are deeply grateful for the time and the expertise that our esteemed speaker, Ms. Shyamli Dwivedi ma'am, has generously shared it with us today. What is critical thinking, how to think out of the box to make good paper, and share the link to download the papers and also clear the doubts. Ma'am, your presentation were not only informative but also incredibly engaging, providing valuable insight into the key to publish better research paper. We are immensely thankful all the participants to their active engagement and their thoughtful provoking questions. The lively discussion that followed each presentation have truly enriched the learning experience for everyone. The special thank to Akash sir, Neetu ma'am, Yatin sir, Bhumia ma'am, Dikshita ma'am. Their tireless effort behind the scene have ensured the smooth and successful conduct of the session. We hope that the technical session has provided a valuable platform for knowledge sharing, networking, and fostering collaborations with our community. Thank you once again for the participation and making this session a resounding success. Thank you, everyone. Now, I have a request to everyone to switch on the camera for a group photo. Please switch on the camera. Everyone, please. Akash, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, it's done. Yeah, thank you. It's recording, so already.
Okay, sir, what about photo? It's already done or not?
Thank you so much for joining. Now I think we can conclude the session if you have any.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shyamli, wait for me.